Good evening. In previous session, we have seen the concept of local variable and global variable. So once again, I will show you a small example regarding that local and global variable. If you are going to write any variable inside a function, let us consider function f1. Inside this, I am going to write one variable, that is a. So if I am going to print the a value here, so output will be 10. Now here I am going to write some other function called as f2. So here if we are going to write, sorry, if we want to print the value a here, so here we are going to get an error. The reason is here a is declared here and initialize the value. We are going to initialize the value for a here. So this a is going to be accessed, can be accessed only in this function. It cannot be accessed outside of this function. The reason is a is a local variable. That means it is a local variable. That means it can be accessed only within the f1. The scope of this a is within this function. So what is the lifetime of this variable? That means when it is going to be created and when it is going to be destroyed. That means, so whenever I am going to call a function f1, so at that time the control goes to this function, and then whenever we are going to enter into this function, then the variable a is going to be created. So after that I am using that variable here. So I am going to leave this function. That means here up to here the function is there. So I have completed the execution of function. So the control comes back to this point. Okay, this point. So what happens whenever I am going to exit the function, then automatically the local variable is going to be destroyed. When it is going to be created, when we are going to enter into the function, local variables are going to be created. When it is going to be destroyed, once if you are going to leave the function, then automatically the local variables are going to be destroyed. So that here if you are going to write a equal to 10 in f1, if you try to access the value in f2 function, so it cannot be accessible. So if you want to access local, if you want to access a value here also, for local variables it is not possible. If you want to access a, you can write one more a here, no problem. This a can be accessed only within this function. This a can be accessed within this function only. So now this is called as, these are called as local variables. Now let us see global variables briefly. Global variables means if you want to declare any variable which can be accessed all over the code, all over the program. So here I am going to write a equal to 10. So I am going to define one function f1. Here I am going to write some print a. Here I am going to write what? Print a. And I am going to write define f2. Here I am going to write print a. And now outside the functions separately I am going to write what? Print a. So here what is the value of a here? So a is declared as, a is initialized with 10. So here it is going to print as 10, here it is going to print as 10, and here also it is going to print as 10. Reason is it is a global variable. It is not local to any of the functions. Local means what? If you are going to write any function inside a function, sorry, if you are going to write any variable inside a function, those variables are called as local variables, but it is not written inside any function. So it can be accessed in any of the functions. Okay, so it can be accessed in any of the functions. f2, can I access the value a in f2? Yes, we can access. Reason is it is a global variable. Next, here can I access it? Yes, I can access it. So it is not a local variable, it is a global variable, so that I can access a value in any. Okay, this is about global variable. So let us see on small same example here. So I'm going to write a equal to 10 here. I'm going to define some function f1. Here I'm going to write print of a. Next one, define f2. I'm going to define a function f2 here. Next, here also I'm going to write print of a. I'm going to print the value a here also. Now outside the functions, I'm going to write print a. Okay, so what will be the output of these programs? 3 tens are going to be printed. So see, why here 110 only printed? Reason is I have not called these two functions. So if I want to get those two result also, I have to call f1 and also f2. If I call f1, it is going to print what? A value. If I call f2, it is also going to print what? F value. Sorry, A value. So see, we are getting what? 3 tens. Now the concept is I want to declare a variable locally with the same name as global variable. That is, for example, a equal to 20. Now, what is the case? Here, this is global, which can be accessed anywhere. But this is local variable, which can be only accessed within the F1. So, for the F1, a value will be 20. For F2, is there any local variable? There is no local variable. So, it will access global variable only. What about here? It is outside of any function. It is outside of the functions. So here it can access this A only. So output of this program will be here 20 is going to be printed. F1 is having A value as 20 and F2 is going to have A value as global variable, that is 10 only. So we are going to get answer as 10, 20 and 10. So these are the examples we have seen in previous session. Now I want to declare, that means I want to declare a local variable, or I want to declare a variable which can be accessed in any of the functions. But locally, I want to declare that, not globally. Inside a function, I want to declare that one. How it is possible? So same program I'm going to take. I don't want to declare this global variable here, but I want to declare a variable inside a function, but that can be accessed anywhere. So there is a keyword called as global. So now you can observe this one. If I execute this program, 1 minute. Okay. See, okay, before going to show the example, I have to tell one point that if we want to write any variable inside the function, by default, it is a local variable. But inside a function, I want to declare a global variable. So how to declare? By using a keyword called as global. So what is the advantage of this one? 1 minute. Okay, I will tell you. What is the advantage of this one? Here I am going to use global A. Here A equal to 20 I am going to write. So I'm going to print what? A value. So what is the A value that is going to printed here? The value will be 20, it is going to print. Next I am going to write F2 also. Here also I am going to write what? Print of A. So here also what value will be printed? So this A will be acted as global, it is going to access. So here also the output should be what? The output should be 20 only. Okay. Next, here also the output should be what? 20 only. But why we got error here? Reason I will explain now. Reason is, observe clearly here. The point should be noted here. Reason, when the A value is going to be created and where the A value is going to be created. A value is going to be created inside F1. If I call F1, A will be created globally. If I'm not calling F1, if I try to access A, will there be any A that can be accessed by our Python program? No. So that here what I have done, before calling the F1, I have called A. Where is A? There is no A. When A is going to be created, once if you are going to call F1, then A will be created here. So that I am going to write this one last. So now you can observe clearly. Now what will be the answer? First I called F1. So what happens? It will go here and it is going to create a globally. So that the value I'm going to initialize A equal to 20 and I'm printing that. So the A value will be what? 20. Next I'm calling F2. So F2 also A will be what? I have not declared locally or globally, it is not there. But inside F1 I have declared A as global. So for this one also we are going to get answer as what? 20 only. Okay, let us see here. So what is the answer? We are going to get 3 20s. What about third 20? Third 20 is what? This A. Here I am printing A. Next case is, if I call, for example, I am calling F2 first. If I am calling F2 first, what happens? It will go to this one. It is trying to print A, but where is A? It is not yet created. When A will be created, once F1 is called, if we call F1 once, then A will be created. So that here also we are going to get what? We are going to get an error. That is nothing but what? A is not defined. Where A is going to be defined? Inside a F1. Once if you are going to call f1 only, at that time only we are going to a is going to be created. So now I want to tell you what is the use of this global keyword. So this global keyword is going to allow you to modify the variable outside of this function. Okay, outside of this, that means I can write this global variable here and I can modify that value here also. So I will modify that one, right? So it is used to create a global variable and make the changes of the variable in another function, we can say it. Okay, now I will change the values now. So here what I have declared, just I will draw a small diagram for this one and I will explain. So what happens here, I have taken function 1 and here I have taken some global a. Globally I have taken and I'm going to initialize some value with 20 and I am printing a here, right? Next one, define f2 print a. Next here I'm going to call f1 and here I'm going to call f2 and I'm going to print a here. So what happens means here a is going to be created and the value is 20 and it is a global, I'm telling it as a global, so it can be accessed by every part of the program. So that the answer is what, everywhere 320s we have printed, 120 second time and third time the 20 is going to be printed. Now the case is here I am going to change the value of a as 27 for example. Let us see what happens if I change the value there. Observe, listen carefully here, the concept is important. So just here I am going to change the value as 27. Will there be any effect for the global variable or not? That is the point. So see what happens. First I have called what, f2, so that we got 21. So first I will call f1 only. So let us see if there is any change or not in the program. So answer is what, 20, 27 and 20. What happens here, I have declared this is treated as what, local variable only. Here I will explain what I have done. Here I have created one a equal to 27. This is what, global variable which can be accessed by f1 f2 and all over the program it can be accessed. But once again here a is going to, f2 is going to create one more a which is local variable. That means it can be accessed only within that f2. So if I ask in f2 what is meant by a, it will give me only 27. It will not give me 20 because I have created the same name variable. That means here globally a is there with the same name I have created in my f2 also. So the reference to this one is going to be deleted, and from now if a means it is going to refer to this local variable only. So here we are going to get what, answer as 27. What about remaining things? Here I'm going to access globally. So here I'm going to get 20 and here also I'm going to get 20. Now third case, I want to declare same global here also. Global a I am going to write. Now we have to understand one thing, that how many global variables will be there generally if the same name, only one will be there. Okay, now here I'm going to write two things. Now what happens, let us see now. So see, just same program I'm going to execute. See what is the answer, 20, 27, 27. So I will change the order, then I will execute, the answer will be different. So before changing the order, just I will explain what happens here. Okay, so what here I have taken, three functions I have taken. One is f1, directly I'm going to write here. In f1 what I have done, global a, and here I have written, sorry, global space a equal to 20 I have written. Next f2, here also I specified what, global a, and here I am going to write 27. Okay, next here I have printed a, here I have printed a. Now observe clearly, and outside I am calling f1 and next I am calling f2 and I am printing a. Here the concept is, first I am calling which function, I am calling f1. So globally one variable is created, that is a, and I'm initializing that value with 20. Completed. If I print a here, what is the available a value here, 20. So that the answer that is printed as what, first one as 20. Okay, next case what happens, I am calling f2, the control goes here. Now here also I am declaring globally a, that means it is pointing to this one only, globally only one a is there. So a equal to 27, that means the value is going to be modified to 27 here. Then what happens? Then here I'm printing A. What is the A for this one? 27. It is a global variable. Okay. Next, the control comes back here. Again, I'm printing A here. What is the A available globally? 27. So the answer is what? First 20, next 27, next 27. Right? Now, I will change the order now. Just I will call F2, F1. I am going to change. Now observe carefully. You can understand the output here. What is the output here? 27, 20, 20. What is the reason? Here now what happens? I have called first this function. I have called this function first. So first A is going to be created with which value? 27. And here A is printed. Okay. Next, with what I am calling? Next one, I am calling F2. So I have printed A here. So output is printed as what? 27. Next I am calling what? Order is F2 and F1. Next I am calling F1. So again here A I am going to create. Same A it is going to be pointed. And what I am changing it as? 20. So here 20 is going to be changed. Next it is going to print as what? Answer as 20. Next the control comes back to here. Here and here what is there? Again print A is there. So which value it is going to print? It is going to print 20 only. So the answer is what? 27, 20, 20. So if I change the program with the last statement, I'm going to change as, for example, here I'm going to write it. So now see, observe carefully here. Without calling any function, I am going to use what? I am going to use a value here. So is there any way a value created? No. So what will be the output? The output will be an error. Okay, because A is not specified anywhere, not defined anywhere. Now one more thing I will write here. A equal to 10 I am going to write. Now what will be the output? So globally A is there. Same globally A is there. Same third one also globally A is there. So what is the answer? Here 10 will be printed. Next F2 is what? It will go here. Next F1 is what? It will go here. The control goes to there. So answer will be what? 10, 27 and 20 only. Why 10? Because before going to create these variables, global variable is what? 10. So this 10 is going to be printed here. Next one is what? F2 I am going to call. If I call F2, the global variable is going to be changed to what? 27. Next one is what? F1 I am going to call. So in F1 now the value I am going to change as what? 20. So here 20, first one 10 is going to be printed. F2 27 is going to be printed here. Next F1 is what? It is going to print 20. So the answer is 10, 27 and 20 is the answer. Now just for showing all these cases, just I am going to take one small program and I will show some more different cases here. Just I am going to take a small function and here global A I am going to take A equal to 100 I am going to take here. Next I want to print the value here so that clearly I will explain now. Function 1. Okay, function 1 I can write because I'm going to specify two functions. Function 1 value. Okay, function 1 value is what I want to print a value here. So you can clearly understand while output is going to be printed. Next I want to define one more function, function 2. So here also I'm going to do what? Here also I want to define global A and I want to initialize the value with A equal to 200 and print of function 2. Because why I am going to write once again means you will get a clarity on this example, because in before case what we had done directly the values are printed so that you may not understand what are the values. So I'm taking in this order. Next time I will take one more function also. So define function 3. Here I am going to take just print of I want to take function 3a, function 3a value I want to take here. Okay, right. Now the case is, first case I have defined how many functions here? 3 functions. One is function 1, function 2 and function 3. So now first case is I want to call function 1 first. Okay, Next, I want to call function 2 second, and next I want to call function 3. Now what will be the output? You have to tell me. That is global A. First, what 10 is 100 is there. So first I'm calling function 1. So what happens? Function 1, 100 is going to be printed. Next I'm calling what? Function 2. What is their value? 200. So 200 is going to be printed. Function 3. What happens? A is there. Now which A is going to be printed? Lastly, I have overridden 100 with what? 200. So that is just I will write here only, here itself. So here what happens? First I am calling this function 1. So first A is what? It is going to be created as 100. Okay. Next. So here 100 value is printed. So output is what? First 100 is printed. Next one is the control come back to here, and we are calling function 2. Again it is creating what? Global A. That means same value it is going to point to same. Now A equal to 20. Let us take the same value it is going to point here. It will become what? 20. And next it is going to, we are going to print the A value. So what is going to print it? 200 is going to be printed. Next I am going to call what? Function 3. Is there any A declared here inside a function 3? No. Globally or locally it is not declared. So already global value is there for this one. For all these functions global value is there, that is A. So what is the value we are having here? 200. So the answer is what? 100, 200 and 200. You can observe here. So see the output once. So 100, 200 and 300 for function 1, function 2 and function 3. This is one case. Now let us go to next case. Okay, that case is I am going to take the order differently. That is, here I am going to take function 3, here I am going to take function 2. Now what happens? First one I am calling which function? I am calling function 1. So that in function 1 we are going to create a global variable, that is what? A100. So it is going to print. So first value is what? Function 1, it is going to print 100. Next one, the control come back to here. Again I am calling what? Function 3 I am calling second. So it will go to here. What is the A value? Now it is available in global variable 100. So here it will print what? Function 3. And the value is what here? 100 only. Next, the control come back to here. Again it is going to call what? Function 2. Now the answer is what? Again it is going to modify the value. Locally I am modifying the global value. Observe one thing. Locally I am modifying the global value. Okay, the difference I will tell you. If I write global value outside the function, what happens? I will discuss with one more example. If I write global inside the function, what happens? So now what happens? It will print what? Function, this value is going to be modified to what? 200. So function 2 is going to be printed here and 200 is going to be printed. Now let us see the output for this program. So see, what is the output for this program? Output of this program will be 100, 100, 200. As we have seen here, same output is generated. Okay, right. Now next case I will take. Okay, before going to next case, I will explain one small concept. That is, if I am going to write A equal to 10, I am going to write in function 1, I am going to write A equal to 20 and print A here. Now one thing we have to observe here, A is global for all the, it is global variable. It can be accessed by any of the functions. So here just I am going to print A. If I am going to write in this order, what happens? This A is global to both F1 and F2. But when I call F1, what happens? It is having one more local variable with the same name. So for locally, it is going to create A equal to 20. Observe one thing here. Here locally value is going to be created, but this reference will be removed here. Globally, I am not going to change. Locally, the new variable is going to be created with 20. That means till now, till function 1 is called, A value is what? 10 only for F1 also. But whenever we are calling F1 function, what happens? Internally, one local variable. Till now, F1 points to global variable. Now that reference will be deleted and A value for F1 will be what? 20. So if I print A, what happens? 20 will be printed. Next, what about if I call F2? F2, is there any local variable for this one? Not there. So that it will access what? Global variable, that will be 10. So you have to understand the difference between these two. Okay. So to modify, observe one thing. Here what I am doing, I am modifying the global variable locally. So first, what global variable is what? This is global variable, and I'm modifying that global variable locally from the function. Okay, but in this case what happens, if we write a global variable outside of the function, and if you try to write, if you are thinking that I want to change this value, and if you are writing a equal to 20 here, it is not going to be changed. What happens, one more local variable is going to be created, and it can be accessed only within the a only. But here, if function2 is going to modify a value to 200, then what happens, if function3 accesses, it is going to get what? This 200 modified value only. Okay, that is the difference between these two. Now let us see next case. So I have told you the differences here. Now next case is, I want to change the order once again, that is F2, F3 and F1. Now what happens, I am going to write first one as what? F2, second one F3, third one F1. Now the case is, if I call F2, it will go here. Global variable a equal to 200 is created here, and next answer is what? Output is 200 is printed. Function 2, 200 is printed. Next control come back to here. Function 3, what happened? Function 3, a value is what? 200 will be printed. Next function 1 is called here. It is having global variable, so it is going to modify this one. Because I have declared a as global here, that means it is pointing to this one only. If I am not going to declare this global, answer will be different. Just I will modify the global in next case. So here global is there, so that it is pointing to same. So a is going to be 100, and the output is what? F1, 100 is going to be printed. So just I will execute this program now. So see the answer, 200, 200 and 100 we got. Now just I will modify, remove that global, and I will execute the program. Let us see what will be the output. Just I will remove this global. Okay, I want to write a equal to 100 only. So now what will be the answer? First I am calling which function? F2 I am going to call. F2 I am going to call. So global variable is going to be created with 200. Okay. Next, so answer will be what? Function 2 a will be printed. Sorry, function 2 200 will be printed out. Next control come back to function 3. So here what happens? F3 function 3. What is the answer it is going to print? It is going to print as 200 only. Okay. Next, here third one is what? Function 1 is going to be called. In function 1 there is a local variable a. So when I print function 1 value, we are going to get what? 100. Okay. So let us see the output for this program. So what is the answer? 200, 200 and 100. Okay. In this way it is going to be done. But okay, I will change the order also, so that you can get a clarity on this one. First if I call F1, and here if I call F2, and here I am going to call F3. So now see the output here. What happens? 100, 200 and 300. Okay. Next I will change. Okay, all cases are completed here. So you have to understand the difference between, if I write global here, if I'm not going to write global for this function, what happens? It is going to create a separate local variable. It is not pointing to this global variable. So this is about some of the cases. So here I want to discuss one small point. That point is, whenever we are going to define a global variable inside a function, we are going to use a keyword called as global. Okay, but whenever you are defining that, compulsory global, 1 minute, compulsory should be what? Global space a should be there. If I try to give the value here itself, let us see what happens. It is going to give you syntactical error. So just I will save this program. So here I will write, I will execute the program here. Okay, observe once. Okay. Okay. Now see, what is the answer we are going to get? Invalid syntax. That means internally for the Python interpreter, if global space some variable is going to be written there, initialization should not be done there. Okay. Then where I have to do? Separately, I have to do that initialization. So now we are going to get the answer for that one. What I have to write, a equal to 100. Okay, see, now there will be no problem for our program. Okay, so this point we have to note. Right. So the concept of these global variables can also be applied in nested functions also. When we discuss nested functions, I will show you a small example by using these global variables inside a nested functions. Okay, right. Next, one more small method is there, that is called as globals method. So what is the use of globals method means? So if you want to get the global variables that are present inside a program, let us see here. In this case, one small example I will take. Here I am going to take one a. Just I will take global variable here, one a equal to 50 I am going to take, and internal I am going to take local variable. Now here a equal to 200 I am going to take, and in function 3 I don't want to take anything. Now I want to call a function 1 here. So if I call function 1, what is the output it is going to print? It is going to print 100. Next function 2 is going to print 200. Why here a is 50 is not printed? Because it is a global variable, but locally the variables are declared with the same name. So these will be accessed. So the answer will be what? The answer will be 100 and 200. Now I want to print the value of that a also inside my function. So how to access that one? So see here, just I have to write print of which global variable you want to use, a, name as what, a. So globals, the function name is what, globals function is there, which global value you want to use, a. Okay, so in single quotes I have to write a. Now what happens means, this global function is going to call global variable with name a. So the answer will be what here? The answer will be 50. So you can observe clearly that the answer is what? 50. Right. Just I will write the same statement in the second function also. There also it can be accessed. Okay. So see here you can observe clearly. So see 50, 50. Now outside of the functions also I will write here. Okay. If you write outside the functions, directly also you will get the same answer without writing these globals also. You'll write, if you write just a also, you are going to get the same output only. Okay, right. Here one point we have to understand, that if we want to get, if there is a local variable called as a and global variable called as a, if you print the a inside this function, what we are going to get? Only local variable we are going to get. But if you want to get the global variable from this function, then I have to use globals function and name of the variable. Let us consider here I want to write b equal to 60. I'm going to write, but if I execute this one, what we are going to get? A only we are going to get. But if you want to get global inside, I'm going to write here b also. Otherwise in second program I will write, 1 minute. Okay, here I will write b also. B equal to some 300 I am going to write. So now I want to print what? I want to print global variable b. I don't want to print local variable b. Then what I have to write? Just I have to write global of b here. Then what happens? We are not going to get 300 here. We are going to get answer as 60. See the output. We got what? 60. So why we are going to use this globals function means, this global, that means whenever you are going to declare a local variable and global variable with the same name, then if you want to get the global variable in the function where local variable is used with the same name, there we have to use this globals variable with the variable name. Then we are going to get what? We are going to get the global variable value in the local scope. Okay, right. Now you may have one doubt, that sir, we have declared, let us declare here global. Here I am going to write, I will remove this one, b I am going to remove. Just I want to talk only about a. Now see, so here I am going to write global here, global a I am going to write, a equal to 100 I am going to write. Now if I execute this program, what should be the answer inside this function? It should be same, 100 should be printed here. But if I write in this way, what happens? Will we get answer or not? Let us check. we are not going to get any answer. We are going to get what? Invalid syntax. So that if we want to access that, just we have to write what? Globals of, compulsory globals function has to be used, and in square brackets we have to write that variable name. Okay, compulsory, it is compulsory, right? So this is the answer. Okay, this is about globals function, right? Next, let us go to next concept, that is recursive functions. The function name is what? Recursive functions. So okay, one small example I will show before going to that. Sir, if you are not going to pass anything here, for example, here there is no global variable, here there is no global variable, I don't want to make this one as also a global variable. Okay, now there is no concept of globals in our program. Okay, now if I try to call, okay, I will remove this one also because I will get an error, right? If just I am going to use empty, if I am going to use empty brackets, so it is going to give what? See, just I will print in, I want to show you that output, what it is going to give. See what it is going to give? Invalid syntax, because in that we should have something, some value should be there. Now I am going to remove this one and I want to print only globals. So what it is going to give? It is going to give something. What is that something? In the form of what? Dictionary. See, observe this one. In the form of dictionary, we are going to get open bracket, closed bracket, and everything. Name, colon, main. Doc, space, none. Package, space, none. Something is there. What is this something here? So name of the function is what? Main. Okay, just for example, I'm telling. Next, document is nothing but what? Is there any doc here? Okay, I will change this program and I will explain you. 1 minute. Just here I will write. Here I will write something program name. Okay, right. Now let us execute this one. Okay, see here. What we got here? Name is main only. Every time main will be there. Doc string. What I have written here? Doc string. Program name I have written. So globally I have done this one. So globally we are getting program name. Package name I have not specified anything. In the same way, we are getting what? Different things. What is the, where is the file we are having? C users ex.py and so on. We are about function 1 we are having, about function 2 we are going to have here. That means whenever these are all global things which can be accessed outside of the functions also. So if you are not going to write anything in for a global function, it is going to give all global related functions, attributes, variables that are present by default for any program. Okay, so that is about globals function. Now let us see about recursive functions. Next concept is what? Recursive functions. What is meant by recursive function? So recursive function means, recursive function is a function which calls itself. Recursive function. Okay, recursive function means what? Sorry, recursive function means what? A function calls itself is called as a recursive function. So how it is going to be happen? Let us see. So one small example I will take here. Define some f1 I'm going to use, and here I'm going to write some print function 1. Just I will take the example directly in my shell. Here itself I'm going to take. Just I want to print only one statement, that is only function 1 I will write here, so you can understand clearly. So till now what we have seen, I can call the functions from one function to another function. Just I will show that. Function 2 here. Okay, now observe one thing. When I am calling from function 2, I want to call function 1 also. Function 1 I want to call. Okay, so just I will call only function 2. Now what happens here? If I call function 2, it will go to where? Function 2, and it will print what? Function. It will print function 2. After that I am calling what? Function 1 also. So it also will be executed. That means here one function can call another function, no problem. The output will be, we can get the output what? Function 2 and function 1, no problem. But if I want to call the same function itself. That means here I want to call this f1 from within the f1. That means what happens here? Repeatedly it goes on call the same function. It leads to what? Infinite loop. If I'm not going to control it, if I call, see here, observe one thing. Just I will write here function 2 is calling itself. Just I will write recursive call here. Function 2 is going to call itself. What happens? What will be the output of this program? Observe once. So on, it's go on calling. Okay. Externally, I have to stop this one by pressing some key, anything. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. I have to interrupt with the keyboards here. What it has given? Keyboard interrupt, because I have stopped externally. The program is so on, go on running. Okay. So a function is go on continuously, it is going to run. That means whenever you are going to use the concept of recursive function, there better use some condition to stop the program. Okay. Generally we will call that condition as base condition. Okay. Just I will show that. So here, what is the advantage of this recursive function means? See here what happens. Code is reduced. A function, by using the concept of recursive function, I can decrease the code length of the code. Next, automatically here readability is going to be increased. Reason is, if I call the same function multiple times, this function is used more number of times, then I call it as what? Readability is going to be increased. I am going to read the same function many times. I can say it as what? Readability is going to be increased. Next, so by using this concept, we can solve some complex problems also easily, because there is no concept of calling from one function to another function. Just I'm calling the same function. Within the same function, I'm going to call that same function only. So complexity is going to be decreased. We can solve large complex programs also by using these recursive functions. Now let us take a general example, that is a factorial. Okay, because it will be easily understand for the students, so that generally we will tell this same program, that is factorial. Define some, I will write factorial. So just factor, already you know what is meant by factorial. If I take 5 factorial, it will give you what? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So answer will be 120. So already you know what is meant by factorial. Now I want to show you the concept of recursive functions by using by taking the factorial program. So what it has to do? So what is meant? First I will explain about the factorial program. So I will come back to this one. So see here, what is meant by factorial? I am going to take n value as 5. So first what it has to do? 5 into 4 it has to do. Next case, already 5 into 4 is there. Into 3 it has to do. Next, into 2 it has to do. Next, into 1 it has to do. Okay, completed. Into 0, if I do, what happens? Enter answer will be 0. So up to what I have to take? Up to only 1 I have to take. That means for this one I have to write a separate condition, so that if 1 is encountered, do something which is going to stop my recursive call. Okay, I will show you this. Now the concept is what here I am going to do here. Observe carefully. Here 5 into 4 I am going to write. 5 means what? N value. What is this value? N minus 1 value. That means what I am going to do? I am going to perform the concept of n into factorial. See, finally I will tell here, this is what? N value. This entire thing is what? Factorial of 4. It is nothing but factorial of 4. Next, if we come here, what happens? If I am going to take 4, this one, factorial of 4 it is going to take. If I come to here, it is what? 4 into 3 into 2. Oh, it is what? 4 into 3, and so on. That means I can get a condition from these statements. That is what? Some result. I'm going to take some result equal to n, which is nothing, base value is what? 5. Next one, what? I have to call factorial of n minus 1. What it says? First I am going to take 5. So factorial of n minus 1 is nothing but what? Factorial of n minus 1 is, here it is going to perform into, if I take factorial of n minus 1, it is going to take what? 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Whatever we need, it is going to take. But stepwise I am going to explain now. So 5 into fact of n minus 1 means, again it is going to call same function. Where this statement is written? Inside a factorial of n. So just I don't want to make you confused. So just while writing the program, I will explain there itself. Okay. right? Now see here, just I will write a program here. Already you know the logic. So just I will write the if n equal to 0, what is the factorial of 0? The factorial of 0 is 1. So just I will write if n is 0, the factorial should be, the result should be what? The result should be 1. Okay. Next, else case, if it is not the case, what should be happen? The result should be, if it is not 0, the result should be n into, for example, we have taken what? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It will give by factorial of 4. That is, I can take what? Fact of n minus 1. Okay, completed. And next, finally, I have to do what? I have to return the result. It may be, if it is 0, it is going to give me result as 1. If it is 5 or 4 or 3 or any other number, it will come to else case. Just I will return. Okay, result. And next, I am going to call factorial. Factorial. Okay, factorial of, I am going to call it as what? 5. So as it is returning some value, I want to print that value. Just I am going to use print of. Print of. Okay. Now observe carefully here. Just I am going to call this one. I will execute this program. Okay, 1 minute. I have taken somewhere. Okay, here I have tried what? Factorial. Factorial. Okay, right. Now observe the thing. Answer is what? 120. We got 5 factorial. How it has been done? Listen carefully here. Here, factorial of 5. Factorial of 5 means what? It is going to call this function. Okay. If n value is what here? 5. I have passed 5 here. Next, if n equal to 0, is it to 0? No. So it will not go to if. It will go to else. Else it is going to do what? N into, listen carefully, n into fact of n minus 1. N minus 1 means what? Here the answer is what? 4. Okay, again the control goes to where? Same function. From the same function, I am calling itself. Again it will come here. Is n equal to 0? No. Else result equal to n value is what now? 4. It will perform what here? Already 5 is there here. It will perform 4 into fact of 3. Again now all same. From here again it is going to call what? Same function. There what happens? If n equal to 0, is n equal to 0? No. N equal to what? 3. Now it will come to else case. Here what it is going to do? N value is what? 3. 3 into fact of 2. Next step. 4 into fact of, sorry, 3 into fact of 2. Next case what happens? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into fact of 1. Now observe carefully. Now what happens here? Fact of 1. Now the control goes to same. Fact of 1 means it will go to, sorry, I am taking here fact. It is factorial. Don't worry. Just I am going to take in a shortcut. This is a what? Factorial. Right. Okay, right. Now factorial of 1. So it goes to here. Now is n equal to 0? No. Again it comes to here. It will result what? N into factorial of n minus 1. Now observe carefully here. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into. Just internally it is going to be calculated. But I want to write a stepwise so that I am writing in this way. 1 into fact of 0. Okay. Now again it is calling what? Same function it is going to call here. But here, see here what happens? N value is what now? 0. If n equal to 0, what is the answer? Result equal to 1. So what I am placing in result? Result equal to 1. So in this 1 minute, here I have written what? Result equal to 1. Okay, result equal to what? N. Sorry. Result equal to 1. From where we are calling? We are calling from here. So it is going to return value to here. That means here I am not going to perform anything here. So this else case is completed. I will come out of this else case. There is result is return is what? Result. In result, what is there? This entire thing will be there. Okay, once again I will repeat the same point here. What I have done here. Whenever it reaches to fact of 0, it will come here. What is the value of this factor? N value 0. If n equal to 0, what happens? It will go to this one. It makes what? Result equal to 1. So this value will be returned to where? Here. The value will be returned to here. Okay, next. Here the value will be what? 1. So totally what happens? Again, control come back to here and nothing is there. It will come out of this. Sorry, after completing this if, it will come out of this one and it is going to return what? Return result. We have to observe only one thing, that from where we are going to call fact of 0. From here I am going to call fact of 0. Then it makes what? Here result equal to 1. So that here it is going to take result equal to 1. And here what I am going to do? Return result. Otherwise here directly if you are going to confuse, just I can write here return 1. Directly I can write what? Return 1 also, no problem. So here we are going to get directly 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that will be 120. Okay. In this way we are going to use the concept of recursion. Let us change that one once and let us check whether it is valid or not. Just here I will do what? Return 1. Return 1. Okay. So what happens? It is going to give me same value. So if I write return 1, it will be clarity. So I can take here return 1 also, no problem, because from here factorial of 0 is going to be called and the value is written to here itself. Okay, right. If I write result equal to 1, it may lead to confusion. So better to write return equal to return 1. So this is about the concept of recursive function. A function calls itself is called as a recursion. So here we are using the concept of recursion in functions. So the concept is recursive functions. Next, very important concept now we are going to discuss in this session. Just I will give you a brief idea about that. In next session we will see in detail about that concept. The concept name is anonymous functions. This is very important. So because generally we will use this type of anonymous functions. So anonymous functions, right? Now observe one thing. Anonymous. What is meant by anonymous? So I don't want to tell directly the concept of anonymous functions. Just I will take some examples here. So just I am calling to one person. Person A is there. Here some people are there. Here some students, some different people are there. So just in olden days, whenever we are in childhood, I am having one what we call it as a phone dictionary or phone directory. Phone directory is there. So as the phone is new in my home, what I have done means, just I will see one number in any of the page and just I will dial randomly. So the call may go to this person B. Just I will talk to him. So he will talk something that wrong number. I know that it is a wrong number, but just I am calling to a random number. So when I'm calling this person, did I know this person? No. That means this call is called as what? Anonymous call. Okay. If you don't know the person whom you are calling, that call will be what? Anonymous call. In the same way, if we are going to use a function without any name, here if you don't know the name of the person, we are calling it as what? Anonymous call. In the same way, if you are not going to have the name for a function, those functions are called as anonymous functions. So to remember the concept, I will take two more examples. So generally, I went to a new place when I'm studying MTech in NIT Surathkal. I went to Mangalore. Near Mangalore, Surathkal will be there. Okay. There, first day, I have stepped down into railway station. I don't know any address there. Okay. I came out of the railway station. There one taxi person is there. Okay. There, I have asked him, I want to go to NIT Surathkal. Okay. Okay. He told that, okay, it will be nearly 200. I will charge 200. Okay. So, okay, my luggage was shifted to that taxi and I went to my college and I have given 200 and I have went to my college inside. So what happens here? Did I know who is this taxi person? Don't know. But what happens here? When I need the help of this taxi person, I have take the help. And later, after reaching the college, is there any need of this taxi person? No need. So that I don't want the name of this person. No need of knowing the name of this person because I will not use him later. Next time I don't want to use him because there is no need of I am not having any task for sorry, I'm not having any use with this person later, but same example I will repeat. So here I went to now I'm going to Chennai 10 months back. There what happens means time was 6:30 at my home. I want to go to railway station by 7:30. I am trying to book my Ola cabs, and I have seen Uber cabs also, but it is very busy. The cost is some 850 and 750 I have seen in Uber and Ola. There what I have done means, so okay, anyway, no problem, train is at 7:30. If we go by 6:30, it will, I can reach there by 7:30. So anyway, if the cost is 850 also, I booked it. Then what happens, suddenly he has given me time, waiting time is 20 minutes. That means to reach that particular person to my home, it takes 20 minutes. That means what time will be what 6:50. If I go at that time, I will go to railway station at 7:40 and time will be missed. So what I have done means, just my friend is there, so that I called him and told that did you know any local cabs? That means what, nearly if there is any local guys are there who is going to drive the cabs, if they are free at their home. So I asked him to send. So he sent me one person within 5 minutes. Okay, nearby my home only. So he sent me within a 5 minutes. So I went to railway station. So when I am going to railway station, he told me that Anna, if you want to, if you are going to railway station or anywhere, you can contact me. I will be here only. I will take only less charge only. So what at the time what I will tell? So okay, please give me your name. Sorry, please tell me your name. Please tell me your name. Why I am asking his name? That means in future I want the what services of him, so that I'm taking the name. In future, if you want the services of the function, then I require the name. If in the case of Mangalore to Suratkal, I don't want the services of the taxi person. Okay, so that I don't just I have uses the services of that taxi person, and I have left him. Okay, so that here in the case of Secunderabad to Chintal to Secunderabad, what I have taken? I have taken his number because in future I may need his services. So whenever you need the services of any function in future, if it is required, then compulsory I need function name. If I don't need in future that function, what I have to do? No need of writing any name. Directly I can use at that particular time and I can leave it. Okay, this type of situations you can see in many cases, anonymous things. Better example is what? Better example, daily if you go to any new place, what you will do? Please tell me this address. Just you will ask one person that, Anna, please tell me this address. So you will ask him the address, he will tell the address to you. Okay, and you will leave from that place. You will not ask the name of this person. That means you are using this person only for that particular time, only instance. At that particular instance only you are using. That means if you want to use any function instantly at that time only, then I have to go to a function called as anonymous functions. Okay, so I need the services of that particular person later also, in future also. So compulsory I have to name it. If I name any function, compulsory that will not be a anonymous. Anonymous functions means what? A function without a name, or we can call it as a nameless function. Okay, so to implement this concept of anonymous functions in our what we can say Python, I am using a keyword called as lambda. Okay, so in next session, let us discuss about the concept of this lambda and anonymous functions in detail. Okay, thank you.